What's going down? Oh man. Oh please. What's going down, people? Hold on, let me move my stuff over. Hello, how's everything going? Fine, I hope. Hey, what's going on? Who is this? Miss Anya, how you doing, dear? How are you? Hey, what's going on, Rebecca? Jerry, hey, how's it going, sir? Okay. He said all is well. That's what I like to hear, man. All is good. I'm happy to see you guys. How's you guys' day been? Hey, Chris. All right. That works. Nothing chilling. Watch Miss Anya, what are you watching? Baker Tribe, how's everything going? How was your day? Hello, Renita. How was your day, dear? How was everything? Chris said he's getting everything ready for the day 100. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, sir. The day was long and the kids were whiny little punks. Okay. Okay, Miss Anya. Miss Anya said she was watching Alice in Wonderland. Now she's back to watching The Flash. We were just talking about him today, I think. Mr. Barry Allen. So is this your children, Rebecca, or like a myriad of children? Because you know how you are. You have a lot of kids around you sometimes. Which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying you tend to have a lot of kids around you. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get comfortable here. Well, thank you for that, Miss Anya. Anyway, we're gonna jump in and who's liking that? Hmm. I mean, they're twins. I mean, I would hope that they cause a lot of issues. Rebecca, do you have twins in your family? Is that something that happens within your family? Is it you or Jerry that has twins? Because that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. I guess it would be financially taxing. Yes. I don't think I would. I wouldn't mind having a twin. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to have children as a twin. I just don't. Because I love you. I don't want like somebody else with you. You're enough. He's a really cool kid. So kids at school saw the look on my face when I was trying not to punch her. And she said, "Oh my gosh, Miss Rebecca, are you okay? What's wrong?" Okay. Wow. Gator, could you grab me a water?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Man, Miss Rebecca, it sounded like you was having a hell of a day today.
Here you go.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Okay. All right. Listen, I did not know that. Thank you for thank you for telling me that, Miss Rebecca. That's pretty awesome. I did not know that. Okay. How's everybody else been? How have you been, Miss Renita? Yes, okay. Yes, my dad was a twin, and Rebecca's mom was a twin. So I mean, yeah, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all just kind of asked for it. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. I'm well. I'm well. Thank you much for asking. Thank you much for asking. Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe it doesn't, but I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you can't be surprised. I mean, I don't think I would have been. I mean, I'm just saying, Rebecca, you can't tell me that you were surprised to find that you guys were going to have twins. You know, and I get that there may not be a genetic component to that by no means. I get that. But she said I was shocked. Here's the thing I can almost assure you, Rebecca, if you would have told probably anybody else that you and your husband both has a parent that was an identical twin, and we're probably going to have children, I assure you, nobody would have been surprised to hear that you were having twins. I'm just saying. If you would have told me that before I knew Ben and Max came into the world, I would have assumed that. I would have at least asked the question. Wow. Miss Rebecca went fucking crazy. Ah. So then, yeah, and I get that too. I totally understand that as well. I get that. I mean, I read this book called Fluke, and it was talking about how we think that things are so like one in a million, and it was kind of like it's not, right? It's really not. So the likelihood of a person having twins would be, whatever, one out of however many. Um, the chances of you as a child giving away a Dr. Seuss book with your name written in it, you give it to a library or you sell it on um garage sale. 20 years later, you're in France somewhere at a bookstore and there's a book that you wrote in. It happens. It happens. So I wouldn't even say science. I'm like, I get it though. I get it. Lord knows I'm not that good at science by no means. But I mean, common sense would have told me, or at least popped it in my head, like, oh, I'm sure they're probably gonna have twins. Either them or somebody in their kid lineage probably will. So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a shitter if Ben and Max end up having children and then they have twins of their own. Just saying. That would be kind of funny. I don't know if Rebecca would actually like that, having 4 kids oh man. Having the grandbabies over, all 4 of them. They're all twins and they all look exactly alike. Yes. I mean, come on, dude. Fluke, I need to read that. I have bought back shit before. So I would not wish that on them. Saw a t-shirt in London. Yeah. That were from the Council Bluffs YMCA. So I'm telling you. What's going on? No. Have a seat. That's mine. I'm trying to take my pop. Like, man. No. Well, just chill, okay? Chill for me. Anyway. All right, enough about twins and wishing horrible shit upon people. All right, guys, today is, you're not going to believe this. Hold on. Oh. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it's episode. Oh, shit. Oh, please. 96, sorry. Episode 96. You see that? It was like episode 9. I'm like, oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. Like, dude, Groundhog's Day would suck about now. Anyway, all right, so season 10, episode 96, seasonal life changes. Sorry, not life changes, life lessons. I told you guys yesterday that that's what we're going to touch on, and that is what we are doing. So, fun fact before we get started. In ancient Egypt, death was a season, not an end. A season, not an end. They believed that death was just a one-stop stop for a cynical journey, right? Like going from sunset to sunrise. It said that the word for death actually, excuse me, their word for death actually meant the time between light. Tell me that is not deep. Their word for death actually meant the time before light. Tell me that is not crazy. That's some crazy shit. Yes, sir. eBay. Oh, eBay. Okay. 4 days left. I know. All right, let's get our clap on before Miss Renita reminds us. Let's get our clap on before Miss Renita reminds us. Thank you guys so much for coming today. 96. I appreciate you guys so much. Clap. I appreciate you guys so much. We're clapping because today is day 96. Right? We're clapping for myself for consistently showing up. We're clapping for you for showing up. And here's the other thing: if you don't clap for you, nobody else will. We give people permission to clap for us when we clap for ourselves. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you guys for showing up. All right. So our warning is that today. Here's the thing. Today, I think is going to be a um. Stop. Today's going to be a little deep today. Here, you can have the pop. So yeah, so today's gonna be a little deep. I'm just telling you now. So if you guys are thinking that it's not gonna be, it is. Whenever we're talking about seasonal type changes, man, things get really deep. So I'm just telling you now, if you get easily offended, please go somewhere else. I I'm just throwing it out there. But thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Miss Hanya. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay. How you guys doing with keeping your word? How you guys doing with keeping it? I'm just warning you now. I'm still at it. Okay, perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, wonderful. All right, so today we are heading towards the learning zone. I usually have my, you know what? Now that I think about it, I did not get text from either one of you today regarding your jobs, right? Because remember, I was supposed to have a little thing, and I didn't even get to use it. So, yeah, both of you throwing it out there. Miss Anya, you have a job to do. Tomorrow, remind me of the mixer when we get to the house. I got to put my mixer together for my little thing. You, Rebecca, you were supposed to remind me, remember? And if you can remind me, Miss Renita would have to remind me of the mixer. You were like, I got it. Remember, we talked about that last night. And I put you in charge after that, Miss Renita. If Rebecca didn't do it, you had to hit me up. Twice yesterday. What are you talking about? I didn't get no thing from you yesterday. And then we talked about this last night. I stand corrected. I will shut my mouth. I did not have your name in my phone. I literally thought you were spam. It said soundboard. You texted twice yesterday. I am sorry. No, you're right. I am sorry. You did say, you said it twice. I thought it was just one of those thingamajigs, you know what I mean? From those telemarketing companies that just send you random shit. And I was sitting there wondering, like, why would somebody send me sound? What? I didn't even think it was the same thing. I apologize. My fault. My fuck up. So, Renita, you're still good because she did send it. She did send it. Dos. I'm pretty sure I'm using that word incorrectly, but she sent it twice. Once in the morning and then once in the evening. You're right, Rebecca. My deepest apologies. Okay, sorry. My fault. All right, please grab yourself a pen and pad or whatever you need to get focused because we're about to start and you are entering the learning zone. Miss Renita, thank you. So grab yourself some snacks, blanket pop, snuggie charger, or reading glasses, as in my case or Mr. Jerry Bear's case. And without further ado, is that booing? You already know exactly what that means. No, it's still on the thing. It's still on my little thing here. I have to put it on the mixer board. We'll get it figured out though. Either way, give me my hell yeah so we can get started. Pretty please, sugar on top. You good, buddy? Okay. Thank you, Jerry Bear. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you, Miss Anya. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Rebecca. I know it is coming. Just wanted to say thank you guys in general. Okay, remind me tomorrow, Murphy. Okay, so today is that a baby? Okay, so today we are doing the 4 seasons of life, seasonal life lessons. Everyone, here's the cool thing about this: everybody goes through them, but few move through them with awareness. So we all know what they are, but we just allow them to happen, but we're not consciously aware of their meaning. So today I kind of felt that, you know what, how about we talk about that? And I promise you this is going to be a little deep. So some of it I am going to kind of fly through a little bit for obvious reasons. Guys, you okay? So we have the 4 seasons. Okay, well, we already talked about that. Look at our little fun fact that we just now had. Brought brought to you by Rebecca. Supposedly identical twins have zip to do with genetics. Complete fluke. Sorry about that, guys. Man, good God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you like that, Rebecca? I figured you would think that was funny. All right, so the first our first season, fall, or one of them, or the shedding season. Example is your relationship shift. Excuse me. What once energized you, now it drains you. Things start falling away without your permission. And at the end of the day, we start losing control. That's literally what it is because we always think that we're in control of everything, don't we? Don't we? Well, we're always thinking that we're in control of everything. All right. Which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is what are we holding on to that that's letting go of me? What am I holding on to? What are we holding on to that's already letting go of me? So it could be a person, it could be an idea, it could be a belief structure, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter. Right? We all think that that we control everything, that we have some sense of normalcy when we control stuff. And sadly enough, like I told you before, we don't control shit. Right? So and I think it's a great question to ask is, what are you holding on to that's already saying goodbye to you? Think about how many relationships that we've been in, romantic, platonic, business, right? Professional, that they said, but we're still holding on to it. I know I'm not the only one who does that, right? So the reality is that fall isn't failure. It's nature preparing you for less noise and more truth. Hold on one second. Sorry guys. Like I said, man, I still have a job to do. All right, man. That's another reason why. Oh my gosh. Whew, thank God I didn't say 200. Oh my God. Thank God I didn't say 200. Oh my gosh. Anywho, so the reality is that fall is not failure. It's nature preparing you for less noise and more truth. That happens, right? Things start calming down. Yep, all right, put his stuff away, son. Thank you, buddy. So what do we do? Well, we let things fall, release with respect, but not resistance. Stop trying to hold on to shit that you ain't got no business holding on to no more. Right? And I'm not telling you that it's gonna be easy to let go because it's not. Right? That sucks. Just being honest with you. It does. But you know that it sucks before you let go. Right? So it's not a thing that fearless say, well, I just gotta let this stuff go. No, it's gonna suck. Especially if you've held on to something for so long. Sometimes it becomes one with your identity. Like a lot of jobs that we'll have, like we didn't like being there, but then we we attach it to who we are. So then it becomes one with us. And then when we get fired, we think that that they're taking a part of who we are away from us, right? And they're not. All right. So once fall, this is kind of food for thought. Uh, Fall was once considered the season of the soul. In ancient Celtic tradition, fall or autumn marked the beginning of the new year, not the end. It symbolized the soul's preparation for the inner journey. Death didn't start in winter, it began with the shedding of fall. Right? Isn't that kind of poetic? Like I told you guys, man, we're gonna get kind of deep today. Like this shit's gonna be really deep. Because here's the thing, we all go through this stuff. This isn't like it's something that people go through every so often. No, we will all, if as long as you're alive, you'll all hit these 4 seasons. Even in California, they still have winter there. They may not have snow like we do, but they still have the same seasons we have here, they have there too. Same exact ones. Just a little less snow. That's it. Okay? All right, number 2, winter. I was born in winter, so works for me. All right? So the isolation season. The isolation season. You feel alone. Conversations go quiet. Success slows. You wonder if you're being punished or protected, especially when it comes to business. I've noticed in a lot of businesses eat shit during winter. I mean, bad. Like, depending on what you sell, right? Depending on what you sell, it's business might suck for you. Now electronics probably not so much. Probably not so much. Books, especially with Goodreads. No, not Goodreads. What you got? Thrift books. You have Abe's books. You have Half Price Bookstore. You have the Book Nook. You got Barnes and Nobles. I mean, that was just 5 that I just Book of the Month Club. So that's 6 different shit. Marketplace, Amazon, YouTube, not YouTube, eBay. Dude, that's 7 or 8 different places I just named where you don't even have to go get the book. You can have it brought to your house. So again, depending on what's going on, you can isolate yourself, especially when it comes to business. So the question is this silence breaking me or is it building me? And again, this also works in family too. It works in family too. And especially when it comes to people unaliving themselves. There is not another, out of all the 4 seasons, this is the worst one. I call it the Bible Belt of the year. Year. October, November, December. Right? The Bible Belt of the year. October, November, December. To me, that's what they are. It's what they are. It's the year's winding down. Everything's coming to that proverbial end. Family, friends, everybody starts getting together. This is when people start feeling isolated. Tell me, show of hands, how many of y'all have actually been, either you or somebody who hates the Bible Belt of the year? October, whether it's Halloween Thanksgiving or Christmas. Show of hands, how many of y'all know somebody who hates the Bible Bell of the Year? Hates it. Show of hands. Chris said, Chris said, he said, I know I do. Right? How many of you guys know either you or you know somebody who hates the Bible Belt? That's all I'm saying. Thank you guys. That's all I'm saying. Right? There's more people who unalive themselves during that time than any other time during the year. October, November, December, gone. Gone. Because it's an isolation time. Is the silence breaking you or is it building you? Jerry Bear too. Right? So, and this is also for you guys out there too that will be watching this stuff later. Show of hands. Okay, what's up? Need some more water? Okay, so sorry, brain just went blank. So let me know. Like, I'm sorry, my brain literally just went blank for a second. For those of you watching, and for those of you who will be watching later, do you or do you know somebody who hates the end of the year? Especially when it comes to holidays. Just saying, right? My crew here does, so I'm just asking you if you do. So the reality is that winter isn't cold for no reason. It forces depth over display. What does that mean? It forces you to go deep. It forces you to go deep. Do you want to sit? Want to stand? Okay. It forces you to go deep, man. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. Some people do not like that shit. Why do you guys think I have a warning sign telling people, hey, we go deep in here? That's why. Right? Like, you guys need to understand. No, before you walk in here, we have some really deep conversations. We talk about some deep shit. So if that's not for you, there's a million one other places you can be. Respectfully speaking. Okay? So what do? Embrace solitude. Strengthen roots. Study your soul. I remember during COVID, I think the first year, the first full year of COVID, man, I think I read like 15 books. Sorry about that. I finished 15 books that month. 15 books. Was it 15? Yeah, I think it was 15. 15 books. I read literally, oh my gosh. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I loved it because I couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. So I sat at home and I just read books. I sat at home and I read. And I got to know me and love myself. And man, the kiddo was hanging out doing his thing. Man, I was sitting at home just reading, minding my own business. I loved it. Right? Anyway, that's my thing. Right? But I don't know what your thing is. I don't know what your thing is. Right? But during those times, embrace the quietness. Because again, we don't like being quiet. Especially quiet in our minds and shit. We don't like that. You know, we feel a way about that. Right? I don't know. Strengthen those roots. Study yourself. Hell, I had to. Right? All right. So in nature, winter is not death. It's deep work. Trees look dead in the winter, but their roots are still growing deeper underground. I'm going to say that again. Trees look dead in the winter. They look dead, but they're not dead. They're still growing deeper and deeper and deeper underground. Okay? Life does not stop in the winter, it rearranges itself. That's why winter is often symbolic of transformation. Uh, uh, like I wouldn't say to be inspired, but transformative, but not of decay. They didn't die off. The leaves did, but again, they'll be back as well. Right? Something new, something used, something borrowed, right? Just saying. I think we're all on borrowed time if you really think about it like that, though, right? How do what do you how do you guys feel about winter? What do you guys think? And I'm just asking. Christopher says, I often wonder, since we talk about birds flying south for the winter, do people talk south about do people do do people south talk about birds flying south for the winter? Ah, okay. Yeah, it's possible. Like, dude, here comes the birds. Like, so, like us, we don't have birds during that particular time, and then they're flying south or north. Renee says, I just hate the cold and snow. Okay. Yeah, Chris, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. That's a good question though. What about you guys, Rebecca? Jerry, what do you guys think about winter? I love it. My favorite though is fall. My favorite time is fall. You would think I like winter, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a sweater weather type of guy. I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year. Just throwing it out there. Oh shit! What this is? It is a word of the week, sponsored by our favorite word of the week, perspicuous. Perspicuous. Stop moving. Perspicuous, clearly expressed and easily understood. If a child wouldn't understand it, it is too complicated. So the duality of perspicuous is our synonym. Our daily synonym is articulate, spoken or written clearly and effectively. And then our antonym, which is the opposite, is convoluted. Okay? It means overcomplicated and hard to understand. Overcomplicated and hard to understand, kind of like the tax code. Kind of like some of our governmental things that they got going on. Right? Complicated and hard to understand. Right? Some of it's not, though. Just throwing it out there. Anyhow, so yeah, all right. Well, I think we're good on that one. Dancing time, of course, Mr. Diddy. Okay, so number 3, spring. Spring, the identity season. The identity season. New ideas bloom. You feel hope again, but your old mindset doesn't quite fit this new energy. Your old mindset doesn't fit this new energy. Cool. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, am I planting what I truly want? Or am I, or what have I always been told to? Okay. Am I planting what I truly want or what I've always been told to? Okay. So what are we going after? What when we talk about our identity, well again, we talked about belief systems, right? So our beliefs for the most part are based on two different things. How is those beliefs formed? Outside of ears, there's two things on how our beliefs get formed. Can anybody tell me? I've mentioned it enough times that y'all should get both correct. Hmm. There's two things. And for you people out there watching who watch this later, do you remember what it is? I've talked about it before. Renita. Good job. Renita said experience and exposure. Yes. Experience is something that you went through, that you've experienced. Exposure is something that you've seen that somebody else did. You took that and ran with that shit. So when we talk about, am I planting what I truly want? That's based on what you want, or based on, or what I've been told to, is based on the exposure of someone else telling you to do something that you've accepted as your truth. You see what I mean? Come on now. So the reality of that is that spring is permission to start different, not just start over. Okay, spring is permission to start different, not just start over. Okay. And I think that a lot of us tend to think that, oh man, I gotta start over doing the same stuff. No, 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 no. No. If we're talking about finding who you are, and I don't want to even say finding, because that would imply that you're lost, right? I would say uncovering who and what you are. That's a different thing. Uncovering means that you already know exactly who and what you are, but you've already dumped so much shit on top of it that it gets to a point where you're kind of like, uh, I don't know. This could be a part of me. This could be me. No, 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 no. We're not playing that. We're not playing that game. You hear me, y'all? We're not playing that game. We know who we are. You know who you are. So, and again, now finding out what you like, finding out what your dreams, goals, aspirations are, the things that you want to be, do, have, give, and go in life. Fuck yes. Yeah, you may have to figure that out. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, like whatsoever. I think that the problem, a lot of cases, is that we don't take the time to try to figure that out, which really sucks. Especially if you have the time to do it. If you're in isolation, instead of taking out your phone, take out a pen and piece of paper. Get to writing some shit down. I don't know. Maybe you need to go grab a Sudoku or word search or fill-ins or something like that. Me and Anya, we were at the store not too long ago, and I love buying them. I keep them in my car, keep them around the house. I buy extra pens just so I can always have something to write with. But I don't necessarily need to write down goals or anything like that. But I think it's a great idea to consistently have your mind working. Have your mind working. And then sometimes it's okay to shut the fuck up and sit down. That's all meditation is. Letting your mind just kind of run wherever it needs to, but then understanding where your due north is and then traveling back there. That's all it is. Very simple shit. I mean, very simple. Okay, so what do? Move clarity. Move with clarity, not chaos. Plant slow. Protect your growth. And again, when we talk about protection, what's another word that I use for protection? What are we protecting? I use this word to describe, and I say we use this, we use this thing here, but this is also another word for this is protection. So what are we protecting? What are we protecting? Do anybody remember? God damn it, Renita. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, ma'am. Boundaries. Boundaries. You're not just protecting boundaries from others, you're protecting your boundaries from yourself too. Why do you think I'm always asking you guys, hey, how have you guys been doing with keeping your word to yourself? All I'm asking is, have you been protecting your boundaries? Same shit. Okay? Same thing. Spring isn't the start, it's the rebirth. Spring is not the start, it's the rebirth. Spring isn't about beginnings, it's about returning after surviving. How many people really actually understand what that is? Or what that means? Think about that. Spring is not about beginnings. It's about surviving. Right? Returning after you survived the winter. Right? You survived isolation. You survived in-laws. You survived family. You survived another Christmas. You survived another Thanksgiving. You survived the long waiting lines. When I go Christmas shopping, I try my best to go Christmas shopping seriously in October. So anything I'm gonna buy for a person or people, I buy it in October. October. By November 15th, all my Christmas shopping's done. All of it. All of it. It's already done. Why? Because I know exactly what's coming. I know about the attitudes. I know about the fights. I know about the isolation. I know about people feeling away about the holidays in general. I know about people's mental health. I know about all that shit. Yeah, Chris said Black Friday I stay away as far as I possibly can. Yes. Yes. November, December again. Early part of November, my shopping's all done. I will start. I've even started as early as September. Buying shit, putting stuff away. Buying shit, putting stuff away. So it gets to the point that even if I did buy something during late November, December, all that, it's just knickknacks. Knickknacks. Nothing big. I buy the big shit at that time. But before November 15th. Before November 15th. Just saying. And I don't mind even paying a little bit higher price just so I don't have to deal with people's bullshit. Because I know it's coming. Right? To be forewarned is to be for what? Forearmed. Most of us go through shit because we ain't prepared for shit. I try my best to prepare. And that's all I'm doing for you. Trying to help you prepare too. So in mythology, Persephone is her name, returns from the underworld. Persephone's return from the underworld is what causes spring. So spring equals resurrection. And again, we've talked about that too, didn't we? In our a hero's journey episode or saga, because shit, we talked about it. We spent the whole goddamn week talking about it. The whole week. Shit, I don't think that nobody could talk about Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey better than y'all. And I would bet money on that. I would bet money on that. That ordinary, regular, everyday person is not going to know that story better than you will. So, am I lying? I'm just asking. Am I lying? Does anybody know that story, those 9 steps, better than y'all? Does anybody know those 9 steps? Again, average, everyday person, I will put you against anybody when it comes to that. Even people that has actually read his book, you know more about how each one of those steps work than that person would. Why? Because they just touched on it. They skimmed the top of it. Did we skim the top? Or did we go deep? I'm asking my crew, but I'm also asking you out there too. Especially if you guys watched what was it? Season 9. The whole season of season 9 was about the hero's journey. Chris said we went deep. We went deep on that. We did not fuck around. No, sir, we did not. Everybody on the team went deep on that one. We went deep on that. So I will put my people up against anybody. And let you study it like I study it, my people will beat your ass in that. My people will tear your ass up, respectfully speaking. But my people know exactly what that is. We will whoop your ass at this. And I tested them. Shit, I think that was what, episode 9? Wasn't that the 9th one, Renita? Wasn't that season 9? Wasn't that that was our last one, wasn't it? Where we did the recap of the whole entire thing. I'm just saying, I think that was our last one. When we did that, when we did that long ass test, that game show, the game show part. Yeah. Like seriously. So if you guys think about it, we went through here, 1.5 times 9. We went through 13.5 hours. 13.5 hours. Hold on. Plus, no, plus 1.5, plus 1.5, plus we spent 18 hours altogether on the hero's journey. Because if you remember, we talked about it early on when we first started. We also talked about it again. We talked about it again around season 6. I think around episode 70. I think we talked about it either in the 60s or the 70s. We talked about it again. And I said that we were going to do one more before we close out. And was it season 9? Episode 80 through 89. That's all we talked about. So that's 18 hours of Joseph Campbell that we've done. Like I told you, my team will whoop your ass at this. Just saying, man, better fall in and get quoted. Okay? I'm just saying, here's the thing. Personally, I love it when I could put our people up against anybody. I love that. And again, it's not about competition. For me, it's more about understanding that the people that we keep around us. Remember, if you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with, the 5 people that you guys are around on a consistent basis are actually all going somewhere. You guys are all learning something. And not only, you're not just listening to it, you're actually heeding what we're talking about, doing what we talk about, and living what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the same as just learning about it. There's a lot of people who learn shit and don't do anything with it. I think it said that over 70% of people will buy a book and never even read it. And if they do, they don't get past the first chapter. To me, that shit's unheard of. I don't know about anybody else. I'm just saying, unheard of to me. Okay. All right, so let's slide into season to our fourth exposure, our 4th season, the exposure season. All right, so example is opportunities show up, you're seen, heard, and stretched, but distractions rise with the light. Yes, it does. I think that we all know that. So the question is, Chris said that in summertime it is my least favorite because it is way too hot. I get that, buddy. So is this expansion aligned or just applauded? Or just applause, excuse me. Is this expansion aligned? Is this congruent with who we are or just applause? Right? So again, like we said, opportunities pop up. You probably get more opportunities now than you do any other time of the year for the most part. Right? You're seen because it's nights out. You're heard. You're stretched damn near thin, but distractions rise with everything else. See, when there's no light, you're isolated. When there's a whole bunch of light, you're out and about. But can you still stay solid in your character when it's bright and beautiful outside? So when we talk about, is this expansion aligned or applause? So are you still searching for truth? Are you still trying to become that person or that thing, whatever you're trying to be? Is that still aligned with where you're going? is still aligned with who you are? Or are you just basically faking this shit and you're standing outside because you just wanted applause for showing up there for shit that you didn't even do? How many of us know people who, again, just very superficial, very surface based? There ain't no deepness to them. How many of y'all know somebody like that? That's very superfluous, very superficial, very just fucking shallow. Just ugh. Like, dude, like I don't even like talking to you, honestly. I don't learn anything when I talk to you. I don't feel like I'm bettering myself, even being in your presence. Chris said I do. I know I do. I'm just putting my shit out there. I personally know people like that. And again, I stay the fuck away from them. I don't need an applause. What about the rest of y'all out there? You know, you're not here right now, but you're gonna watch this. How y'all feeling about that? How many of you know somebody that they boy ain't nothing deep to them. Ain't nothing deep to them. Just asking. So reality. Summer reveals whether your roots can handle the sunlight, or the spotlight. Think about that. Summer reveals whether or not your roots can handle the spotlight. So can you still be you no matter what is going on outside of you? Remember when we talked about before being the thermostat versus the thermometer? A lot of people, let's be honest, they're thermometers. However everything else is going, that's how they're going. Like we talked about before, you have to be the thermostat. You set the temperature for shit around you. You set the temperature for how you want things to be. You know? And here's the thing, I had to remember that too. Because I forgot that for quite a while. You know, I forgot that for quite a while. And it happens. You're going to forget. You're going to forget. And it's going to suck sometimes. You're going to forget. I would hate to be the one to tell you, like, hey, man, no, you're going to remember all this. You won't. When I'm coaching people, I've decided that I'm not going to charge per session. I'm just going to do a retainer. I don't want to work based on hours. I rather work based on the month. You know, because I find that some people, man, it may just take them a few hours to get this. Some people, it may take them 18 hours to get it. Doesn't matter. You know? Doesn't matter. Okay? So what do? Well, number one, we lead with discipline. Harvest what's true and ignore what flatters. So you have to be very careful of those people, places, things, situations, circumstances that are only here to flatter you. That are only here to tell you, hey man, you're doing such a great job. If it ain't challenging you, if it's not telling you, hey man, good job for showing up. Thank you for showing up to do the work. No. You're being fucked with. You're being lied to. You're being gaslit. You're being love bombed. You're being love bombed. See, I think our friends, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that our friends are going to tell us, hey, man, I accept you for exactly who and what you are. I think that our friends will probably tell us, hey, man, I get where you're trying to get to, and I'm going to hold you to the person that you want to become. So I can accept who and what you are right now, but you can't stay the same way and aim for that. So that means by default, I cannot accept you for who and what you are right now. I have to accept you for who and what you are becoming to be. Bit of a paradox, I know, but it is what it is, though, man. Okay. All right. Summer is the only season with no symbol of loss, but it is also when the most burnouts happen. It's also when the most burnouts happen. In both life and business, people break down during good seasons because they chase the output without reflection. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of us are chasing that end objective without ever checking to see if it's congruent with who we are, if it's aligned with who we are. We just keep saying, man, that's what I want. That's what I want. But never asking why. Right? We never ask why. And sometimes, man, we have to get to that point where we are asking why. Summer exposes what hasn't healed in winter. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Summer exposes what wasn't healed in winter. Let me say that 1 more time. Summer exposes what was not healed in winter. If you remember, winter is a time for what? And I'm really asking you guys. First person can answer me is getting $10 on Cash App. What is winter? It's the time for what? That we put on here, that I put on my slide. What did I say it was? No, sir. It's not the time for sleeping, sir. Miss Renita, give it to me. Gerald, give it to me. Rebecca, give it to me. I haven't heard from you guys in a little while. Good job, sir. Isolation. Isolation. Good job, Chris. Hey, that's a good one too, though, Jer Bear. But remember, we talked about for winter, if you remember, this is the isolation season. Winter's the isolation season. You feel alone, conversations get quiet. Yeah. All right. Success slows. You wonder if you're being punished or protected, especially in business. Is silence breaking me or is it building me? Right? It forces you to do what? Embrace solitude, strengthen your roots, study who and what you are. When it's the dark times, when it's the dark months, when you're by yourself, thank you, Renita. When you are alone. When you're alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when that shit hits. Growth is visible, but not always sustainable. I'll say that again. Growth is visible, but not always sustainable. That sucks too. You never hear motivational speakers talk about that. You never hear life coaches ever talk about that. That growth is, it can be very visible, but it's not always sustainable. It's going to take some work. You're going to get your ass handed to you. Sometimes the summer months might treat you worse than all the other ones will. You know? So during those times of isolation, you guys got to remember that is the time when you really start kind of focusing in on you. You may not like the coldness. Cool, it ain't about the cold. It's about you. Look to the tree for inspiration. It's not dead. It has to go deep. It has to go in for a while. Go chill. Deepen its roots out a little bit more. Right? A tree's consistently growing. Right? It doesn't stop just because you don't see it. You know? And what does that mean that growth is visible but not always sustainable? Well, again, let's take the idea of the tree, right? A tree, if you look at the roots of it, if there's another, the roots will grow as long as they can. Okay? They'll just keep going and keep going. But then at some point, there might be something that's right in the way of it growing that it can't grow anymore. At least maybe not over here it can't. So that's what we're talking about. That growth is not always sustainable, especially in one area. If you overgrow, if you grow in one area and you grow out of that area, then that's it. That's it. That's it. It's no longer sustainable. You already got it. There's no more growth over here. So now it's time to pivot onto something different. That's it. Okay? Time to pivot out. That's it. Hmm? All right. Here's our cheat sheet. I will send this to you guys. Let me ask you which one of these did you guys like the most? I know we haven't done that in a while, but I figured we got a couple minutes tonight. Which one of these did you guys like the most? I mean, it could be all of them too, but I'm just asking which one really resonated with you? The shedding, the isolation, the identity season, or the exposure season? Expose that shit. Ayo! Let me get you guys a cheat sheet. Make you a copy right quick. All right. Oh, okay. Jerry Bear said he liked the summer. Jerry said he liked the summer. Oh, Chris likes the winter. Really? The isolate. Ah, yeah, because you don't like coming outside. Fucking weirdo. Okay, I like that. So you're good. Okay. So Jerry likes the exposure. He's like, nah, fuck it. Let me get it all out. I know, Miss Anya, I like spring and summer. Identity and exposure. Okay. Okay. Winter from Miss Renita. Jerry Bear said summer. Chris said winter. You know, I'm gonna go with winter. Um, I'm gonna go with the fall and winter. Those are my faves. Yeah, that's fall and winter, the shedding season and the isolation season. Even if we don't use, and I sent you guys um the seasonal life lessons, right? Here's the cool thing about these. Number one, there's only four, right? So there's not much to remember. And no matter what, you'll always remember what these are. Fall is, sorry about that, is the shedding season. Winter's isolation, which means we got to go in. Spring is that identity season, get fresh new ideas, new desires, a fresh new feeling like the old version of you doesn't fit anymore. And then the last part is the exposure. The exposure is if you really think about it, you're seen, invited, praised, but distractions increase. Your old habits sneak back in under the spotlight, right? So this is where you start checking what you didn't shed out. This is where, you know what I'm saying, where you're shedding in your identity. You can see which you can see the work that you did when that sunlight hits it. That's where you can see your work, right? Now, for somebody like me, I have an eternal clock when it comes to these seasonal life lessons. So I can ask myself, okay, where am I at right now? Oh, I'm in the isolation. Okay, cool. Okay. Right, what am I looking for? Right, what opportunities have slowed down? What feels like nobody's checking on me? Okay, what do I need to do? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, do y'all. Um, what do I need to do to focus on myself, right? And that's all we're doing, guys. That's all we're doing. Okay. So yeah, so so even if you can't remember those the hero's journey, you guys will at least remember these. This might be a little easier for you guys to remember. Okay? Use this shit. Everybody who's alive right now has to go through it. We all do. Each and every single one of us. Okay? So, like I said, if you can't remember one, you can remember these ones. It's only four. Okay? All right, guys, without further ado, I appreciate you. We have what? Three days left? 3 days for the most part? 3 days, man. I remember when it was 96 the other way. All right, guys, we got 96 more of these to go. No, we got 3. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, have a great night. Get some sleep. And like I always tell you, dream big. And in the immortal words of Miss Anya, bye.